Welcome to episode 2 of this guitar building extravaganza. In this episode, we're gonna make a back out of birch and a top, this Swedish alder, if I can hold it. And I think it's gonna be fun. So stick around. There's always a proper way and not that proper way to do things. Let's do it the improper way. So this is the shape we're after. And here is, as I told you, the blanks. Yesterday I played this and I found something disturbing right here. But since it's wood, things like that tends to happen once in a while. And I'm not that bothered. I really wish I had a better clamping. So if someone out there any suggestions what to do instead of like this. This works, but it's not ideal. Instead of making guitars, I should be making a bench, working bench. Take these, take it up to the light. See if I see any light peeping through. No light. I've seen this once in the net online, and they just take two wedges like this, and you use that as a clamp. I've never done it, so I've seen people put glue like life depended on it, and you know, I believe that's wrong, the wrong way. I've never had a failed joint doing this, but never know when the first one will come. Magic. I don't know. This might work. There's always a first time for failure as well. Let's see if the gluing works. If it works the way I wanted it to. And it turned out really nice. And here it is, the back. I found a router bit that might help me with getting down to 6mm on the side of this. So it backs back to this scary machine. Yep, that's gonna do the trick. I've never done this way before, but I usually do it with planes, and I struggle to get this edge down to 5.5 millimeters. And I thought, well, maybe you can use a router bit, and I think that worked. So, and now, finally, it's time. For these little guys. And also this one. These are my favorite tools, rounding down the arch. So, I've never done this with birch before, so this could be interesting. But it cuts quite nice. And it's not like spruce, I tell you. I'm gonna do this a couple of more hours. Every now and then, you have to check your progress. And I had this stick that I made a couple of years ago when I made a Benedetto Archtop. And it's broken, I can see, but it will do the job. It's not that. It's just I got to see, sort of. So I'm heading the right way. And now we'll come to the part of shaping. And here is where they touch. What that tells me is I gotta get rid of something like this. Something like that. On that side, and on this side it's more severe, so right. I eyeball it a bit. So, something like that. That's what I'm going to take. And I take it small increments. Small. Sometimes you got to use these. Like that. And this is an art form that I don't know how to do. But I do my best. Now let's see if it was any good. Yep. So when the shavings from the wood is getting smaller and worse, sharpen the steel. And now, my friends, the outside is finished. Maybe I do some inlay here by my hole, and maybe an inlay there as well. I don't know, it's the back of the guitar is going to be like that, and it's too thick, it's too heavy, so we got to carve out the inside. Hee-haw! How do we go about to hog out the material and still get the right thickness? Let's ruin the mystery. I've got this one. It's an ordinary drill and a wooden peg. and I got a stop on it over here. So I can't, even though I try, I can't go any further than that. And that is 5 point something millimeters. 2 of these are 6. And I can't, yeah. And that's how we do it. Just like that, and just walk away. Start at one end. Then you go around the guitar. And here it is. Some kind of broken Swiss cheese. This is the result. And now back to the carving and the planes. And we're back to this big question mark of making something that would never be seen beautiful. But I do it because I like it. So this is the result. It's a bit more sanding, a lot more sanding to do, but I do that when I close the box. So this one is going to the side now, and next, story time, boys and girls. I come from a farm, a family farm. I'm generation number 10 as far as we know, dating back to mid 1600s, something like that. My forefathers, they never threw anything away. So around the farm you can find stuff they made. Tools, chairs, sofas, and plows and things like that. My great-great-grandfather, he was a stock maker. You know, he made the wooden part for the rifles, the stock. And in his free time, he had, if you had free time back then, in the mid 1800s, but when he was at home, he made things for the household. And 20 years ago, we found this. This one, we believe he made. We didn't know what it was. But like my forefathers, we decided to keep it. You know, maybe somewhere down the line, we find out what it is. And a couple of years back, I started making Archtops. See the similarity? It's even got an arch. We're here, just like this one. It's not as thin, but it's just the beginning of the carve. Maybe something happened here, I don't know. So we decided to scrap this one. So he made Archtop guitars back in no, he didn't. It's not a guitar, you can see that, but I believe this is a key harp. I would say the beginning of a key harp. I have the other one, the back, so to speak, on the wall. It's a hardwood, and thinking to myself, maybe It's because of the stock maker I make guitars, especially Archtop guitars. Maybe that's where the idea came from. Or was it? I tell you later on in the video why I make guitars. So let's get down to guitar making. Yeah, the top. Let's do this correct this time. Let's think it through before drilling any holes in it. It's not even half decent, but I have to take this down, and I do that with a roughing plane, with a plane like this. This method worked last time, so problems. I'm not that worried about this. But this is a hole, it's a cavity. It's a big cavity. And yeah, it's gonna show up somewhere around there. And I don't know what to do. Maybe I just ignore the problem now and deal with it later, or I fix it now, and but I don't know how to do that. I got an idea. Crystal resin is some kind of epoxy resin, and I fill that one with epoxy, and when it shows up on this side, I let it be in a small, something that belongs to the guitar. A design feature, sort of, or just a feature. First thing you need is gloves. If you have gloves on your hands, that guarantees you won't spill anything on your hands. But if you're not having gloves, if you're not using gloves, you're going to spill it everywhere. So hopefully all these bubbles gonna go away. I think it's gonna work anyway, so and I guess that's all. And as you can see, no resin on my hands. All the resin is in this. And it's been a couple of days, and since I put the epoxy in here, and it seems to work. So it's back to and you just keep carving, and you take a look and you compare the both sides, and you can see I got a bump there. Well, I've come as far as I can get on the inside, I believe. A little bit more sanding for no one to see. And next step is I'm gonna have two parallel braces going from here to here. So let's do that. Let's make some braces. So I promised you a story of why I make guitars, and that is actually a two-in-one story. When I was building my workshop, I needed one of these, and I bought it, but I didn't want to attach it to the workbench. I wanted to be removable. So I wanted something to attach it to, and I found this one, which is half the size right now. It was around there somewhere. This is my great-grandfather was the one who gave us electricity, so to speak. He installed electricity on the farm back in 1917 or something. And he was a proud man. And the first thing after he installed the lights, the first thing he bought was an electric motor. And he wanted to be on something really beautiful. So he found this. It's pear. It was a pear tree in his garden then. And he cut it down and attached a motor here, an electric motor, and used it as such for many, many years. And I found this one laying around and cut up a small part of it and attached my vise to it. And when I put oil on it, I saw this. And I thought, well, this is a beautiful wood. Maybe I can do something with it. And I thought, something for the household. But at the same time, I wanted a Fender Telecaster thin line. And I was checking out the prices, how much they cost. And back then it was about 2,500 euros or something like that. And I thought, well, it's wood. It's a bit of hardware. And if you buy a Mexican one, you can buy it for 300-400 euro. So maybe I can do it myself. And I started making this one. The top is the same. You can see. Hope you can see. It's the same as the wood I made a vise from. Quarter sawn, and I sawed it by hand. And this is cherry, a tree which my father once cut down. And this is birch, the same birch that I use now on the guitar that I'm making. But while making that one, I got scared. Maybe I can't do it. So I started halfway through, and I made this one. Scrap wood from the shop. Don't really know what kind of wood it is, but it's playable, and it sounds really good with super distortions from the 70s. But here is my prize. Gibson L5, made by me. This is an ash tree that I climbed when I was a little boy, with the back and sides out of mahogany. And I started numbering them with number 3. This is the third guitar I ever made. So, and I even made that one. And I got a number 5 in the rehearsal when I play with my band. So why do I make guitars? I make guitars because it's fun. So let's get back to building. What you need for bracing is sprues, quarter sawn sprues. And I found a piece that actually is quarter sawn. And this, I do believe, will make it for, yeah, that could be 2 braces. So, making braces out of this scrap wood. I brought it down to just shy of 10 millimeters, and now I'm going to split it in 2, and then we begin the fun. First thing we got to do is just take him down a small bit, so you know, somewhere, so you know where to start. I'll just take this down with my finger. And take it over to the bandsaw. Something like that. And then just take this one. And you draw a line. I should have a better washer for this. But it'll do for now. Just do it like that. Hold it down. And a couple of 1,000 times of this, and it's ready for the glue in. And eventually, you take a feeler gauge, and you realize you have to do some work. What I can say is, if you don't like sanding, buy a guitar. Yeah, and this is 0.15 of a millimeter, and it's good enough for me. So it's time for glue up. Yeah, well, this is the way. And even more clamps. Even more clamps. I should have 2 small ones. And I've got glue squeeze outs everywhere, and that's good. That means it's enough glue in the joints. It's finishing off time. Let's see how this turned out. We need to shape these braces. And then we're done for this video. So, and that was that. We've made the top for the guitar and the back for the guitar. It's not finished yet. We're gonna sand them a bit, but I do that when I close the box. The first episode, I made the sides. Haven't you seen that episode? I suggest you do that. And for the next episode, I'm gonna make a neck out of the same tree as I made the sides and the back. It's still the same tree. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed the first one, and I hope you enjoy episode number 3. So until next time, have a good life. See you next time.